Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here taking a look at PlayStation 4 games being played through remote play, as you can see. Today we're here to take a look at Dying Light, and this is an unfortunate circumstance. So I've already loaded into a game here because when I originally played this, when it first came out, because I bought it like a day or two after it released, I don't know why I didn't buy it straight up or whatever, I tried to play it and they actually had all four of these buttons here mapped to the front touchscreen, but now they've actually changed it in a patch so that these two back here are available. I originally thought this meant they were going to open the door to a little bit more of remote play customization than they originally did, but unfortunately no dice. Though it's still the same as it was before. So if we press square while in the options menu, we can go to controller view. And this has our controls here. Now, L1 and R1 are on the L and R buttons, as expected. And yeah, it changes the thing that's on display. L2 and R2 are the ones on the... yeah, the ones on the front, which is quite strange. Those are usually L3 and R3. And then the ones on the back are L3 and R3. So, you're left with a bit of a situation because they only offer 4 control presets and then the ability to swap the buttons around in a southpaw set, which makes things a little bit more difficult to customize than you might imagine, and none of these are particularly optimal. I think I found a decent one here with preset 2, the rest of them just don't work as well. But I would really like the ability to remap every button individually, because I would like to put kick on the front touchpad, then use equipment on the right side on the front touchpad, then sprint and jump on the back, use equipment on L1 and attack on R1, and unfortunately I do not believe there is any specific control set that lets me do this no matter what I try. So unfortunately we'll just have to make do with what we have at the moment, which is default preset 2. Now how this affects the game, you might wonder. Well, unfortunately this is the best way I could find to use sprint, because sprint is best because you can just hold the button down. Sprint is best here because considering you run forward constantly while you're sprinting, having it here means you can hold the button down and it's still like you've got your finger on the analog stick because you can still move. And thankfully you can still look around. Not many of the other remote play control sets can actually allow you to do this. You can also jump and dodge out of the way using the rear touchpad, and you can also kick with the rear touchpad, which is not admittedly the best way to handle these things, but frankly it's the best way I've found to do it. And of course this here is aim, but unfortunately I can't test that because I don't have a gun, and you don't get a gun right away, which is unfortunate. You can also use the L1 button here to use this ultraviolet light, which I have zero idea what it actually does, by the way. Whoops, I meant to try and dodge there. Again, it's not the best control set, but it's about as good as I've managed to get it to work. Honestly, I don't really know if there's any sort of better set, but frankly, being able to run like this and dodge like this, which are fairly early abilities that you get very early on in the game. Being able to do some basic parkour on remote play while keeping a good eye on the surroundings is probably the best you're going to get out of this. It's, oh god, big hammer guy, never the best thing to deal with, but yeah, as you can see, this control set lets you parkour just fine. Although one might suggest being a little bit careful with it, considering that you're going to have to be like holding the button constantly, and yeah, I was expecting that to happen. Oh well, I died. But that was just a quick look at Dying Light's control set over remote play. It's not the best, and I would recommend setting the control scheme to the preset default preset 2 in order to get this to work the way you might hope it to work normally. It would be better if we could customize our layouts completely, because this is a game with many different buttons and setups, and there are many ways that some people might prefer to play this, and having a completely customizable control set instead of Left 4 Dead reference there, having a completely customizable control set instead of the 4 presets they give us would be mazes better than just this set. But I have to say though, the game was pretty much, not so much unplayable, but damn was it uncomfortable earlier. So having this changed to the way it is right now is a lot better in comparison to what it was before. And you can at least do some basic parkour with it, which is more than you could ask from the game's previous set beforehand. Just move back. And that's pretty much all I've got to say about this one. So that was a quick look at the remote play controls for Dying Light. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.